If you're looking to master the order of operations once and for all, ready for your GCSEs, then you've come to the right place. I would encourage for this lesson that you do not use a calculator, because more often than not an order of operations question will be on a non-calculator paper. But if you do want to get involved, grab yourself a pen and something to write on, and we will jump right into the video. If you need a few more moments to read through the task board, pause the video now. You may have heard of the order of operations by some other name, the most common being BIDMAS or BODMAS. Depending on where you are in the world, you may also have heard it referred to as PEDMAS. And more recently, I've heard colleagues referring to it as BIPS, which is probably the most accurate version of the order of operations. So the order of operations are that in a question, if you've got multiple things going on, multiple operations taking place, there is a correct order to do them. And thankfully, all of our calculators, if you've got, for example, a Casio model, are programmed to take that into account. However, as I've already said, it's more likely that you'll get this on a non-calculator paper. So we start by looking for any brackets in the calculation, and then we move on to indices. That does also include roots. Then we do multiplication and division simultaneously, and we do addition and subtraction simultaneously. Here are two very simple questions, for example. In this first one on the left, we've only got the operations of addition and multiplication taking place. So if we work our way from the top down in this triangle, we can see that of addition and multiplication, we come across multiplication first and then addition, which means I will do the 4 times 5 first, which will get 20, and then I would add the 3, getting 23. In this second question, if we come down the triangle again, we can see we've got brackets and multiplication. Brackets comes first, and then multiplication, working from the top down. So inside the brackets, I've got 3 plus 4, meaning I need to do the 7 before moving on to the multiplication by 5, getting the answer 35. So see how these questions look very similar, but by changing the order in which we do them, we do get different answers. I do want to talk about a misconception with the order of operations, and it's actually the reason I moved away from teaching BIDMAS or BODMAS. And let me show you why. If you take BIDMAS quite literally in the order and do brackets, indices, division, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction, you would assume in this question that you do the addition first, meaning you would do 9, take away, and then this addition, 2 plus 3 is 5. That would suggest the answer is 4. I'm just going to type this calculation into my calculator, exactly as it's written on the screen. 9, take away 2, add 3 is 10. We got 4 if we trusted BIDMAS. And that is why I prefer the triangle of operations I've put on screen, or what I've heard colleagues refer to as BIPS over BIDMAS. Because with BIPS, brackets and indices stay the same, but then we use P to refer to products. Now, a product is the result of multiplying by something, but in this case, to avoid confusion, it can include division. I won't go into detail about why. And then sums, because sums involve addition and subtraction. The reason why 4 is not the correct answer for this question is because addition and subtraction occur simultaneously. And we've already seen from our calculator that 10 is the correct answer. So when you only have addition and subtraction, or you only have addition and subtraction left to do in your calculation, if it had other operations coming before it, we just go from left to right in the order that we would read. So I'd go 9, take away 2, which is 7, and then add the 3, which is 10. And that's the same for multiplication and division. If you've just got multiplication and division, we're just going to go from left to right, because we're not actually subtracting. If you look at the case on the left, we're not subtracting 5. We're only subtracting 2. So you don't want to misinterpret a question. It's really easy to do if you trust BIDMAS literally, to misinterpret what the question is asking. And as we saw, the answer to this one was in fact 10. So it's really important that when you're thinking about the order of operations, you take care when you're doing multiplication and division and addition and subtraction. So let's have a go at a few questions together. So Based on my triangle, I know I need to do brackets first. This question does have brackets, so we know we're going to deal with that first. So 2 plus 5 is 7, and then I need to multiply by the 3. Notice how I did the brackets first and then brought down the 3 in the same position. I've not changed where it is in the calculation. I've brought down the 3 to then complete the calculation. And I know 3 times 7 is 21. And once again, I know I say it all the time, knowing your times tables will really speed this up, because as you can see, we just came across a simple multiplication, and by knowing my times tables, I was able to do that very quickly. Here's one for you to have a go at. Exactly the same layout, so copying the same steps I did. Pause the video if you need a bit longer. So we're starting with brackets, so 1 plus 6 is 7 again. And then bringing down the 5 in the same position, so I've just brought it down, to join 5 times 7 is 35. In this next example, we haven't got any brackets, so I can't do that first. I also haven't got any indices, so there's nothing there. So then I'm looking at multiplication and division. I can see I have a multiplication. So I'm going to start with that. So I'll do 9 times 5 is 45. And then I'll pull the rest down in the same positions they were originally. And remember, when we've got just addition and subtraction, we're going to go left to right. So I'm going to go 2 plus 45 is 47, and then take away 10 is 37. Here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video so you've got enough time to do it. We're starting once again with the multiplication in the middle. 4 times 7 is 28. Bringing down the other parts of the calculation in the same positions. 6 add 28 is 34, minus the 12 is 22. And just to be sure, I've typed exactly as that's written into my calculator, and if you can see that, the answer is 22. Here we have another one. So starting at the beginning, have we got brackets? Yes, we have, so we'll deal with that first. 6 add 3 is 9. Have we got any indices? Yes, we have. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Now, if you're not sure about indices, my previous video that I published was on indices and roots. So if you don't know how to work those out yourself, it's a good idea to go back and watch that video. 2 to the power of 3 just means 2 times 2 times 2. I'm doing it 3 times. There would be 3 2's being multiplied together. So that's 8. And then the operation in between these two things is to multiply. 9 times 8 is 72. And very similarly, here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video if you want more time. We have got brackets, so 7 take away 5 is 2. We have got indices, 4 squared is 16, and between these two parts is a multiplication. 12 times 16 is 32. Wow, we've got a lot going on in this one. So let's start at the top. Have we got brackets? Yes, we have. We've got 10 divided by 2 in our brackets, which is 5. And whilst I'm here, I'm also going to do the indices. You don't have to. You can write out the rest and fill in the line. But if you feel confident enough to do the indices as well, we'll do that in one jump. Square root of 81 is 9. And now I'm going to fill in the rest of my calculation just so I don't get confused. So the 7's still there, plus 2 is still there, the multiplication is still there, the 9 has replaced the root 81, the minus is still there, and the 5 replaced what's in the brackets. So then we've got our multiplication to deal with. We've not got any division. So that's the 2 times 9, which is 18. Bring down the 7, take away the 5. And then remember, with addition and subtraction, we just go left to right. So 7 plus 18 is 25. Take away 5 is 20. And here's one for you to have a go at. Pause the video if you need a bit longer. Just like before, we've got brackets first. So 6 times 3 is 18. And the square root of 25 is 5. Then I will bring in the rest of the calculation in the same order that it was written, with just my 5 replacing my square root of 25 and my 18 replacing what was in the brackets. I'm then looking for any multiplication and division. I can see I've got 20 divided by 5, which is 4. And then once again, I can fill in the rest. I'm going to put my answer underneath just because I've got more space. 15 take away 4 going left to right is 11. And then add 18 is 29. And just to be sure, we'll double check it on the calculator. So I've got 15 minus 20 divided by root 25 plus, in brackets, 6 times 3 is 29. And notice what I've written on my calculator display is exactly as it's written in the question. And so let's have a quick go at some multiple choice questions to see if you can apply those skills. These questions may require you to write something down to work them out. Some of them you might be able to do in your head. For the shorter questions, I'll pop a 10-second timer on the screen, and for longer ones, I'll up it to about 30 seconds. We'll see when we get there, but if you don't have enough time, just pause the video so you can have a good go at these. Here is your first one, and these are your options. If you said C, 55, you would be correct. Now we've got 12 add 9 take away 5 times 2. Again, thinking about what comes first, also thinking about when you've only got multiplication and division or addition and subtraction, how we complete that. If you said D11, you would be correct. Well done. For this next question, we have got 100 take away 5 squared times 3. If you said 25, you would be correct. Well done. You may need a little bit longer for this one. There's a lot going on, so take your time. 65 minus 24 divided by 4 squared plus the square root of 1. If you said A, 30, you would be correct. Well done. Just to make sure you've got the hang of this, there are, to begin with, 6 mixed up questions practicing these skills for you to have a go at. And then I've put a bonus question on this time. I want you to insert brackets into that statement so that it's true. You can put the brackets anywhere, but what's on the left-hand side needs to equal 18. And I'll give you a clue, you only need 1 set of brackets. Pause the video now so you've got time to answer these questions, and when you hit play, I'll be putting the answers on the screen. How did you do with that bonus one? I thought it was a little bit tricky because it's not very often we see brackets around 3 parts of the calculation rather than just the 2. Check your answers, make sure they are correct, and if there's anything you haven't understood, be sure to go back and re-watch the examples. Sometimes it just helps to see and hear them again. And if you have any questions about the subject content in this video, do pop them down below. We do aim to answer all the questions in the comments relating to the content of the video, so we can help you with anything if you are unsure. Well done for taking part in this video lesson today. Remember, the more revision and independent practice that you do will greatly benefit you when it comes to sitting your GCSEs. Remember to subscribe for more lesson videos like this, and if you also like short form content such as revision quizzes and revision tips, then be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well. Until next time, I'm Charlotte, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in another one soon.